I want to show you today how I use TextMate to write and analyze lyrics. TextMate is my all-time favorite app. I probably spend most of my time in there. I manage my entire life in there using the Getting Things Done philosophy. There's a bundle that you can install that runs the entire thing. It's really amazing. And the other thing that I use it for is writing lyrics. So the cool thing about TextMate is it has this project function. So instead of just having a regular text document open like this, you can see that I've got a bit of a transparent theme in case let's say I need to look at lyrics while I'm typing. I can see them. You can also use really cool formatting, so it gives you can get a mood to your writing. So it's not always black on white or white on black. If you want purple lyrics, purple text, you can use that. If you want a green or a blue background to get into some sort of emotional state as you write, you can do that. So instead of just this, I use this project feature, and it's really simple. You just drag a bunch of, you can create it many ways, but this is one way. Say you've got a couple lyrics right here, you can drag it right onto the app right there, and it creates a new project that has its a drawer right here where you can look at the files. And now you can use Apple 1, 2, 3, 4 to navigate through all these files too. So it's similar to using a browser. So if you need to quickly compare two different files, you can do stuff like that. You can also create it other ways as well. But as you can see here, I've got my lyrics folder, and these are my projects right here, and I've got a number of songwriters who I look up to, and I've studied their lyrics a lot. So right now I've got Bruce Springsteen open here, and here's one of the things I do. So let's say I'm just analyzing his lyrics. I can take something like a word like Heartland. I'll copy it and I'll find in project. So if I find in project, I can see that, well, he only uses Heartland once. So that's kind of interesting. You can find out what words people, lyric writers use a lot, what they use seldom. And so here's one that he used once in all of these albums. So let's find out another thing. Here's one. Okay, so tonight. It's in a spotlight position, the end of a line. Let's see how often he uses tonight. And does he use it to rhyme, in rhyming positions? So for example, let's go to this lyric right here. You can see the whole line right here, so I can tell you it's on the spotlight position, the end of a line. That way we can find out if he uses it to rhyme. So tonight, and then he used on this 4th of July. So he actually does rhyme, and it's not a perfect rhyme, so tonight and July. It's a creative use of the rhyme tonight. Now this is an example where you can say you have the word tonight in a line, and you want to find out, well, what word could I rhyme with it that's better than the obvious choices. And we find out that he used a word July to rhyme it. Maybe that will get you thinking, what else could I use that's a similar type of rhyme that would work for my lyric? Another way you can use it is to realize I don't want to copy, if he's done it, I don't want to do it. That way you can differentiate yourself from a lyricist that maybe you emulate too much. So that's another example of how you can use this. So here's tonight. What did he rhymes it with fight and night. Okay, yeah, I mean, he's a great lyricist, and you're not going to get me to criticize him. Some of his lyrics are his rhymes are cliche, but I think he was probably one of the first to do them. So for example, desire. I got a bad desire. I'm on fire. Fire, desire, we all know is one of the most cliche lyrics in history. But Bruce Springsteen was probably the original to actually quintessentially use that rhyme, and therefore you cannot use it anymore. So we could take a word, like I was just talking about Heartland. We could take Heartland and come up with the quintessential rhyme for Heartland. And maybe we couldn't, but we could try. And then we could basically create the world's cliches by doing something original that nobody's done before. And once we've done it, anyone who does it after us is going to be following our steps. Therefore, we are the first. And you can make your mark in lyrics that way. So this is one great way to analyze lyrics, just finding in the project. Let's say you've got a rhyme. I'm looking for tomorrow. Does anyone use tomorrow or does Bruce use tomorrow at the end of a line? Never. But now what we found is, I'll meet you tomorrow night in Lover's Lane. I'm tired of waiting for tomorrow to come. Tomorrow I'll walk these tracks. Tomorrow my love and I will sleep beneath auburn skies. And tomorrow my heart will sing. We'll find out all the ways he uses the word tomorrow. And just, grab a random lyric like right now. This isn't even his. This is John Henry. But it's in here anyway. So hammer. This is a great word. Find out if he's used it. Now I swing a sledgehammer on a railroad gang. Sitting here with this hammer in hand. Well, let's raise our glass and let the hammer fly. This is the long goodbye. If you got a hammer and a vice, but into her secret garden, don't think twice. So he uses hammer kind of a lot. It's a word that you might not have thought about, and that you can start thinking about your own language, use of language, and what words do I use that paint the picture, that create the emotion that I'm trying to communicate with my listener. So anyway, this is a great way to use lyrics to analyze lyricists, to find rhyming positions, as well as just start looking at the spotlight positions, which are like you take the first and the last line of any verse or chorus, and you take the last word of those lines. Those are usually words that are rhyming, so you can grab those. Here's house, and you can see here he kind of rhymes it with mouth. So does he ever have it in another rhyming position? Daddy's house. Where does that show up? Daddy's house. He doesn't rhyme it there, not that I can see quickly. Here's courthouse. No, it doesn't rhyme it there. Okay, thrills in our little fun house. Blouse. All right, blouse, house, tunnel of love. Silk, the soft silk of your blouse, baby, into this tunnel of love. That's great imagery. So analyzing that you can learn a lot. And this is something I do a lot. I just grab one of my lyricists and just start searching around, see what I find, see if I can uncover some of the keys to their writing, to their style, to how they communicate their ideas and invoke emotions. And then, of course, I use it for to write lyrics as well. I can analyze anything. So, earlier this year I wrote a song called Kitty Hawk. And this is where I organized it. And I'll keep one document that's just my scratch, and I'll keep another one where I'm putting the ideas together. And I can do this myself. So I use attitude as spotlight. So do I use attitude anywhere else? Oh, good. I'm not being a cliche of myself. This is an example. So disappear. Do I use disappear in any other of these lyrics? I don't. It's used once. That way I'm not being redundant. I'm not repeating myself, which is redundant. But it's a cool little technique to find out where you're coming from and make sure you're not repeating past patterns. You're not getting stuck in ruts. And if you are getting stuck in ruts, well, here's a great place for you to start analyzing. How are you doing that? Let's, if I feel like this lyric is something I've, done before, I can look at those spotlight positions and find out, well, how have I done this before? So this is a great thing. The other thing, Apple apps are awesome. You want to find words, thesaurus dictionary, so this gets you to your dictionary. If you don't know this trick, it's the best trick. It doesn't work on Firefox, unfortunately, but it works on Safari, it works in a lot of Apple apps, and it definitely works in TextMate. So here, I can find out what rules are, which can maybe, I need to think if, I don't necessarily mean rules, I mean something else. Well, okay, I can find out if this is actually what I mean. But then, of course, you can go to thesaurus. Sometimes plural don't show in thesauruses, so you go to singular, and then you can get an idea. Okay, regulation, ruling, directive, all of these different things. And then there's great notes, in here. So, and then if you need more, obviously, more gets you their wonderful dictionary thesaurus app, also with Wikipedia in it. So I'll close out here. This is how I use TextMate, and I hope you get something out of it. Thanks for listening.